Hello, guys. So I don't think we need an introduction here. I see a lot of faces from the last event, and we already hang out a little bit. So yeah, let's get direct to the point. So he wanted me to talk about the way we are raised in a different culture, the way he was raised up and the way I was raised up. So I was raised up in a very social culture with a lot of people. Gatherings, rituals, and then a lot of interactions every time. So I was never aloof by the society, and I was always pushed to play with a lot of people and then have more interactions. And then there were always elders in my community, or my cousins, my uncle, my dad, and a lot of people doing all natural games and then teasing girls, flirting, and then taking girls, you know what I mean? So I grew up in that culture where we had this kind of respect to women, but a deep love and a domination to women. So a lot of men I knew, and then I grew up together, and I hang out. They taught me a lot of things about how do they treat women.
From where I experienced with him is, like here in Europe, the parenting is much more protective, and parents tend to have like this very strict education, and the way people in Europe see the relationships with the opposite sex is very like I would say strict. It's like it's not
too off the.
So it's like everybody has like the personal space and all of this conversation, and the way from what I told me is it's like there is no such thing. Maybe they see more women as like a sexual
Yeah,
object.
we never have that kind of things like equality and all. Yeah, the rules exist, but according to civilization, evolution, and then the way women think about us, and then the way we think about women is like we are always superior to women in any ways. So. Being 5'5" or being an Asian, I never think a girl is superior to me. Even she's a doctor, even she's a nurse. I always see her as a girl, as a woman that I want to fuck. So that's the way I think. That's the way I perceive girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole different level of perceiving women.
You were easy to adapt from one culture to another. That's okay, because in Europe the relations between people and opposite sex are too different.
I think here we put women too much on the pedestal.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's about rules and all those consent things, sexual harassment, a lot of rules going on, lot of feminism, all those movements and all. Yeah, that has influenced a lot in European culture. Like men are afraid to talk to women, or even give a little bit of touch. You know what I mean? So they're afraid, like to get abused, or to have that to get a case for sexual abusement or harassment. So because of that, after a long time, men are too scared to talk to women, or get sexual talks, or to tease her in a sexual way. But I grew up in that culture. We always have those things that we tease girls in everywhere, in like schools. We go to a cafe, we tease them, sexually, like, and that's how I grew up. So still, I have that kind of things. I'm not afraid to tease girls anywhere. But here, a lot of people, a lot of youngsters, they are grown and brought up in that culture where you have that equality. For example, if you see 200 years ago, 300 years ago, women in general would have never survived the whole evolution or the whole civilization without men. If we weren't there, if we never protected them, if we never feed them, they will never got this situation here. The whole fucking world is created by men. The cars, the telephone, the rockets, everywhere. Everything is created by men, you know what I mean? But they were always there.
Who gave birth to men?
Sorry?
Who gave birth to men? Who gave birth?
Who gives birth to men?
Who gives birth to men?
Women.
So what was the point?
A little. What's the point? Show a little humility.
No, I think the way.
No, I'm giving my opinions. I'm giving my opinion.
You respect women, right?
I respect women. I love them.
But the way he sees them is different like
I respect
this,
women, I
they
respect-
have a role in society. They don't see like
No, I respect women. It's not like I don't respect women. I've got my sister, I've got my mom, I've got my very good friends around me. Yeah, but I respect them. But it's not like I respect them and then I put them in a temple and then spray them. You know what I mean? I don't worship them. That's a different way of thinking. I respect them. I was born by a mom. You know what I mean? But the way I see girls in general is like, I want to fuck them. I love them and I protect them. You know what I mean? So when a girl is with me, if she's dating me, I would go to any extent to protect her or to provide her needs. So that's what I feel about me. And then if she's around, if she is loving, caring, I go to any extent to provide her needs and to protect her in any ways. That's how I treat my woman. We have to be dominant. We have to able to lead them. They want it. They will never say it. You know what I mean? But the way I have been with many girls in relation in life, and the way I've seen my family or my uncle, my cousins, my dad in a relation in my community. So they always had this leadership of leading the whole family, and even the girl they always dated. You know what I mean? So they had this power to lead them. They never ask a lot of questions, what they like, what they want, you know what I mean? They were always there to provide their needs. You can see in Eastern society communities, like one guy has 6 wives, 7 wives in Dubai, in Pakistan, in Nepal, in India. Yeah. The alpha male, the man who can take care of the wives, they've got like 7 wives and they're still hanging out outside in different world, different countries, fucking different girls. But their women are still loyal and they're always there for them. You know what I mean? That's how the women stick to the male, the real man.
I think that's very important to have like role models when you're growing up.
Yeah.
Guys that you look up to and you see like the way they, because that's when you grow up, you look up to the people that are close to you and you see, okay, what should I want to be? What should I be like, you know? And the fact that you had those people, those uncles and your parents like showing you how to relate to women and make you grow up like that and think that way. And me, from the opposite, I had the experience where I was very protected by my family and my mom, and we were talking about that the other day, like the way like she wants me to be always safe, never like make mistakes in my and I became a very fragile, very weak guy. And then with women, it's very tough to relate to them if you don't have like enough confidence to relate to a woman. They don't want a guy like a weak guy around them. Like, why would they have a baby from a weak guy? Then you couldn't protect the offspring and couldn't take care of her and the baby. So that it's tough for like a lot of guys here in Europe to learn how to have this relationship with the right relationship with women, because we are lied to. Everywhere we see like the movies, every aspect of our lives, the way they use women, they objectify women to like get our attention in like the magazines and everything. We start thinking like them, they are superior to us, and then that shows in the way we interact with them and the way they do it in their culture. Like,
I respect women, but it's not like I worship them. I come from that land where we have 32 million girls, and there are more women girls in our culture than men girls. There are more women girls. They are worshipped in temples. There are more women girls, violent women girls. You know what I mean? So they were treated and worshipped as creators in the world. But there were gods who used to fuck those women girls out there. You know what I mean? There were more dominating gods out there to fuck those women gods out there.
Yeah.
Since the whole history, women have always come to man's world. You know what I mean? Like in our culture, I go to a woman's house and then ask to get married. I bring her to my world. It's in the whole Eastern culture. They come to our world, leaving the whole their whole fucking world. They come to our world. And here too, before like ages, you know, the girls used to come to man's land. It doesn't matter what they used to do, what they were. When they were always invited to our world. So it's like we have to be the leader. We have to dominate. We have to have plans. We have to have focus in a lot of things. And then they are invited to our world. There's no equality.
Here's the opposite.
Here's the opposite. But in their mind, they always want them. They want to be cared. They want to be loved. They want to be leaded. You know what I mean? I think they want that.
They want to be
Because
safe
because
and
I study and then go for a lot of videos, woman fantasy videos, woman fantasy stories. What kind of if you go on researching women's fantasy videos or stories, you'll see women have written these stories more than the porn industry have porn videos out there.
But that's why we have like the lover and the provider, right? Like women have the double standards depending on the guy, you know. And for example, like a guy like Durba, they have like they behave completely different with him, because he shows that he's completely open and he just wants to have like a fun with her. And with other guys, more like a serious kind of thing. It's probably she will not enjoy it and probably not give so much sex to that guy, because it will be more an exchange. It's like he gives some sort of financial resources and stuff, and she exchanges that for sex. That's why all that reason, like guys, like we want to be, we not only better ourselves, we can make everybody around us have a better experience, and women, of course, having better sexual experiences and not so conditioned, not so stifled about like, oh, sex, I'm a slut or not a slut, you know, all that kind of things. That should be around us. She shouldn't even think about she's a slut or not a slut. She's just like sex, and we like sex, and we fuck.
They love sex.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we were talking a few days ago too, and then all about the linear program of this PUA community and all. And I was doing some research on how my community has doing it. You know, a lot of naturals I have around, and still in Barrio Alto, I saw that there are a lot of very, very good naturals. I've shown this guy when we hang out, and I shown him them in action. They don't know about game. We've been doing it in Kaisodre, so we used to help each other. We used to have this social circle game naturally there in Barrio Alto, Kaisodre. I have those people there, really, really good in game. They fuck the most beautiful girls in Kaisodre. Some black dudes and some Brazilian guys. They're very good at games. But when you see them doing their games, like they're fucking brutal. You know what I mean? Sometimes girls, they just want to run away, but they just drag them. You know what I mean? They don't give the private space for them, not even to talk. But how we are teaching or how we are learning the game is, I think it's okay. All those routines and all these things and all. So we have to add up all those qualities. But what about the root things? Why those guys are getting laid without even studying games, and then they're fucking natural, and they're dragging the girls, and they're just holding the girls, kissing them. You know, girls are trying to run away. Eventually, they get into Uber and then go fuck them. You know what I mean?
In cave time, we didn't talk.
You never do. And then I was like doing research in this linear program theory of like open, attract, seduce, physical escalation, and then close. And then I was like thinking how I used to do it, and then how a lot of friends were doing it, you know. And then I was thinking, I think it's only open and close a lot of times for me. It's like yesterday I just pulled an Italian girls in like 20 minutes, not more than that. We were getting something in the restaurant, me, Diogo, and Francisco, João, and then I was going to see Royal in Riverside. So I was like almost there, 3 minutes away from the map. So we were almost there, and I saw this Italian girl, talked to her, just asked her to go for an adventure, just hold her hands, and then took all the way to my house, and then making some pauses, taking gingina and all. And I didn't even listen to her a lot. I didn't even talk.
She gave you a lot of objections, right?
Yeah, but I don't care. I just hold her and then drag her and then just talk about myself and then ask her questions and just. I think she wants it. You know what I mean? My always frame has been like in a natural way. I think myself I'm enough. I deserve the girl. I'm attractive. I'm cool. I'm doing my stuff in life, so I don't need to pursue her or to sell myself to her. So I'm not a high value guy as like money, this. I don't have those kind of things. I'm not educated in many stuff, but I think I can fuck her. I know I want to fuck her. You know what I mean? And I'm a good-looking guy, and I have all what takes. You know what I mean? So my frame is like open and closed, because I know I'm good looking, I know I can do it. So it's like first attraction is always the I assume attraction. She likes me, and she will definitely likes me. She don't want to lose a guy like me. So I go and open and then just be natural, just talk.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah,
Like,
and I always open with physical. So I'm always like
you
she just
assume the attraction.
yeah.
And a lot of the community is like about conveying attraction. It's like you have to convey your value to the girl, so she can see you have value. But I think there is a deeper way of going about it. It's like I already have value. I don't need to convey anything.
Yeah,
already-
that's where a lot of times you were losing sets because you're investing 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and then all those things, rapport building, a lot of things. You know what I mean? And then they say, okay, have a nice time, or you just lose a set because
that happened.
another man comes inside the set and then he takes away your girl. You know what I mean? Because so it should be from the beginning. It should be physical. For me, it's always physical. It's like I always open with touching them or hugging
We're
them.
afraid of risking, but actually not risking is the biggest risk because it's just gonna.
I compliment a lot of guys. They don't compliment to a girl. They say nagging and this. I never nagged a girl. I'm pretty sure when she's beautiful, I just go there and then say, "You're fucking beautiful. What's your name?" And then
Actually, like
let's
the
start. You
neg-
know what I
The
mean?
neg thing for me is like if you are really being yourself and you're being honest with her, you will naturally tend to not like things that she says or not appreciate things
Yeah.
or not
Agree with her.
You're not agreeing with
naturally
everything.
You're gonna neg her
Yeah.
in that way.
In a later process, in a conversation, you're not into her
You're not
in many ways.
to impress her. You just
seeing being honest with her, and then that naturally is gonna come out of you like those negs, all those things. The qualification, for example, guys talk about qualifying, but if you have the right mindset of thinking, oh, is she good enough for me, instead of trying to think, oh, am I good enough for this girl, or she's too old for me, or whatever. If you have always that mindset, all those things will come naturally to you because you're gonna, okay, why she special, or why she deserves me.
Yeah, when 10 guys are approaching her and girls are approached everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, as pickup industry is growing, like they will be approached more. Sometimes there are times I approach her, maybe he will approach her 10 minutes later, the same riverside, you know what I mean? The same girls look. And the same technique is going on. A lot of guys now using the same routines. For example, newbies are using the same routines. And then the same girl is approached by the same routines 3 times. Now they gets boring, you know what I mean? Eventually, we want to develop ourselves in such a way to be a natural pimp, spontaneous. You know what I mean? And a lot of pickup lines. I was doing some research on that, and then I went deep inside the deep psychology of pickup things. So I thought I believe it was created as an excuse to approach a girl.
yeah.
So it was created for the people who couldn't approach a girl, and then it was created as an excuse to approach her. You know what I mean? But eventually what you want to do after that routine is like you can go straight and then compliment her if you like her. Be different, you know what I mean? 10 guys are approaching and one guy is going around, but he wants sex. She knows it when you go and confront her, and then you are there, and as a man, she knows that you want something. And then you go round and round and round. Okay, 10 guys, and you go straight and say you're fucking beautiful, you know. And she already has a different space for you than other 9 guys approaching in a different ways. Maybe she will get entertained with all those pickup lines and everything, you know what I mean? But when you're fucking straight and you know what you want, you are the man there. For me, it works in that way. I go straight and then say you're fucking beautiful, you know what I mean? I don't go with all those cheesy pickup lines and then, yeah, that entertains, that gives you giggles, but I don't have good results with that.
I think it's
I become like a clown.
Either you want to become a great manipulator,
Or you want to become a great man. Which one do you want to pick? Because both gonna take a lot of effort of your life.
I dated this girl from Switzerland. She was living here, and then she gave me a different insight about the horses. Does anyone here who has done horse riding or knows a little bit about horses? Horses. So she was a horse rider, and she told me a very beautiful thing. Like the horses have their leaders and a group always, and there's a huge competitions between them to have leader every day. The more one leader is stronger today, and then the other is stronger tomorrow maybe. You know what I mean? So they always choose leader in their herd. And when you, as a horse rider, you get into to that group, so you should be the leader, to ride them. So you should challenge the whole the group of the horses, and even the leader. So you should have that confidence and then calmness, patience in order to ride that horse. So if you have that anxiety, the horses have the sixth sense for understanding your energy. When you touch them, they can feel your whole state of mind, how you are right now. If you're not calm, if you're afraid, the horse will never give you a ride on their back. Never. It's the same way it works with a woman. Is if you go there and then maybe she will not like me or not. Shall I touch her? And do I have that IOIs? They call it IOIs. Yeah. Indicators. Yeah. Is she showing me interest? Now can I escalate? Can I touch her? So if you start thinking those kind of things, you'll be transferring the same energy to her. She feels the same anxiety, or she feels the same impatience, you know what I mean? So if you're confident and then you want to ride that fucking girl, you have to be confident. You have to. The horses is really hard to ride. A lot of bitchy horses, you know what I mean? They give a lot of sitters. But if a guy, the rider, can control the horse, you have seen in the movies, there are the riders trying to conquer the horse, invade the horse, and then they're just going down, up and down, just trying to kick, you know what I mean? But when the rider can control the horse, that horse will be the most loyal horse to the rider. Like the bullfights and everything. You see the bullfight, we have to learn from all those kind of things, conditions, because we are also, we are human beings. Yeah, man. We're human beings, but we are also animals. We're animals. You know what I mean? So it goes the same way. Yeah, we forget that sometimes. We go all with these rules, regulations, and then we forget what we are. But if you want to fuck girls, you have to be animal.
That's when we finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our talk. So we're gonna bring the main guest right now. After the break, yeah. We're gonna how much time?
About 15 minutes.
15-minute break, and then we bring George Massey from Serious Attraction.